All aboard the doggy problem-solving train. Get your guns ready for some troubleshooting. Okay, when you say stuff like that, it makes me not want to be on this channel. Alright, Huffy Puffy, don't be getting on me because my vocab's fluffy. Lesson 1. If you do not get taken seriously, then you need to prove that you're serious. I'll see you guys next week. No, that doesn't work for me. Alright, let's check the language then. Badaboom. I'm gonna teach you all a very handy trick called the 1, 2, 3. Okay, imagine this scenario. I just took Nala to the dog park. When we get back home and I open the door for her to get out, she just looks at me. I call her once, no response. This is when I would employ the 1, 2, 3. I drop down to my serious voice and count 1, 2, 3. If she's not gotten out of the car by the time I get to 3, then I will do one of two things. I will either slam the door and leave her there, or I will jump at her like I'm going to attack her, and then physically escort her out of the car. Now, since Nala wasn't trained with violence, she's really sensitive. She wants to avoid being escorted out of the car, so the next time I count to 3, she goes out on her own. You gotta follow through though, something always has to happen when you get to 3. I used to work at a dog kennel, and I gotta tell you, if a dog can't catch a treat in its mouth, it looks dumb. Straight up, teach them while they're young. Yeah, and the same goes for teaching a dog what pointing means. The way you do this is by sitting in a room with another person and pointing. Have that person make a noise, and when the dog looks, that person gives them a treat. Eventually they'll learn that when you point, they should look in the direction that you are pointing. Ooh, and you can use the capturing method to train a dog what "look at me" means. Oh, and right before you give a dog water, ask it, "Are you thirsty?" Because then it's gonna know what that means. And you can do the same for if they're food, for "Are you hungry?" Careful though about teaching your dog to look intelligent, because then people will think that it knows what it did wrong when it does something wrong when it really doesn't. If you guys take nothing else from this video, then please just remember this one thing. Try not to ever underestimate or overestimate a dog's intelligence. No, they do not know how to unwrap themselves from poles. Actually, I got a better one. How to break up a dog fight. If you're under 18, the way you break up a dog fight is by telling adults that the dogs are fighting. If you're over 18, then you can break them up by grabbing the tail and pulling them out. Remember, the other dog's teeth are probably going to do more damage, so you can use a little bit of force when you do this. Okay, so for the next half of the video, we're going to be talking about the dog whisperer Cesar Millan. I've extrapolated a method for training dogs who are aggressive towards guests. So when a dog is overly aggressive towards your guests, it probably means that they're trying to establish dominance with them. The goal is to kind of train them that your family's not a wolf pack by sort of knocking them off their high horse. Don't look at them, and then instruct your guests not to look at them. In this situation, when you look at them, you're giving them power, according to Cesar. Make sure your body language is really relaxed. Don't freeze up. Keep moving to communicate to them that there's no threat. Calmly force them to lay on their side the entire time the guests are there until they do it without you sitting next to them. If they start growling, then you can do what Cesar does. Poke them with your foot without them seeing your foot so that you can see how provocable they are. If the dog is particularly aggressive, then make sure to keep it on a leash until it's trained. You're preventing it from being locked up in a room whenever guests come over. Their lives are already really boring enough as it is, and so it seems kind of cruel to deny them that exciting experience. Okay, so what do you do if you're the guest? Remember that you are scary. Don't look at them at first. Just allow them to look at you and let them get used to your face. When you pet a dog, it's actually better to pet them on their chest as opposed to their head. Head petting is scary. Chest petting is not. Remember to keep your body language relaxed and flowy as opposed to tense and still. Dogs like movement. Okay, last off, here's how you introduce dogs. Try not to ever do it while one dog is on a leash and the other one's not, because then there's this hierarchy thing, and if all goes well, then you guys can introduce each other, but try not to meet nose to nose. If they're both standing trying to get through to each other, and you open the door, they meet nose to nose, that could cause a fight. Try them out in a closed off space like a hallway so that you guys can break up any fights, and then if they do good, then you can try them out in a yard, and after a few days, you can rest assured that they are probably not going to get in a fight, but no guarantees. Good luck and happy training. I love you guys. When you pet a dog, it's actually better to pet them on their head. Alright, Huffy Puppy. Alright.